All right, so now we are in our glazing phase. So after I've taken these out of the kiln, they are going to be pretty hard, not moldable anymore. And if you drop them, they may crack and break. So definitely be careful with them. They're very sturdy. You can see our designs. Yours might have gotten some cracks in it. You can see that mine has some cracks. We try for that not to happen, but it does happen, and it's just kind of part of our clay process. So today we're gonna glaze, and this is how you put color on your creation as well as making it food safe so you can eat off of it. Our colors, here are the colors we have. Orange, we have green and yellow, blue, red, and black. These are all with one layer of glaze on top of them. You can see that you can kind of see through the glaze onto the clay. I have not found a great way of how to have that not happen. I will let you know if I figure it out, but we are just gonna try to put some really consistent layers on our clay. So I am gonna show you how to glaze with my my plate because it is going to be easier to look at. I picked both black and red because I love red. It's my favorite color, and I really love how the black looks on clay. So these will be in these little containers that you can use just so we're not having to pull stuff out of the big tubs. And you will need a paintbrush, which I will also have out. Sometimes there might be little chunks in there. That should be okay. Just kind of mix it around. I'm just gonna spread it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my bunny red. Try to be really careful with this. If you would like a smaller brush, you can always grab a smaller brush. That is always an option. And I'm just very carefully painting my bunny red. And I will want to do multiple layers to this. And as you can see, you can kind of put some of this glaze in the cracks. I've told some of you this before, but glaze is, it turns into this glass, right? Think of it as like if you know Minecraft, think of it as Minecraft, you're smelting sand and it turns to glass. This is the same thing, except we're painting on a sand mixture that turns to glass. All right, if you get done with one color and you want to go to a different one, you can do that. Now, the biggest rule when it comes to glazing is you cannot get glaze that drips down onto the bottom. That will get stuck to the bottom of the kiln, and when I pry it up, yours might break. It can ruin the kiln. So I'm gonna be checking all of yours at the end to make sure that nothing is going to be touching the bottom, and we can wipe these off. This is all still, the paint comes off clothes and stuff because it comes off with just water, because it doesn't, it's again kind of like clay where it's just kind of a type of dirt. So now I'm going around, I want the like edges red as well, and then I'm gonna go in with black after. I'll go wash my brush. If you are trying to do lots of colors, just know that you'll probably have to wash your brush quite a few times. These do mix together, so if you want to mix them, you can. Please don't do that in your containers as other people need to use them. But if you mix them together on your clay, that's okay. You can do that. I'm doing a really thin layer on this outside of my plate. I'm going to wipe this off with a paper towel, a wet paper towel after I'm done. But I'm doing this so my plate looks finished. There are certain ways I can set things up so we can do this. All right, now I'm gonna let that dry. I'll do my second layer after it dries. And realistically, this is probably going to be a little messy when it comes out of the kiln. I'm not doing this very precise. We will see what it looks like. All right, I have decided to get a smaller brush for this because I want to be able to get into these little areas. So I'm gonna grab my black and start to paint on. I do want to get into these little cracks. That's another reason why I grabbed this small brush, because we want the whole thing to be covered, because again, this is what makes it able to be eaten off of, makes it food safe. Otherwise, it is not. I'm gonna let this dry and I'm gonna go to my next, to my